CSL. Oh, yeah. Good morning, CSL. Welcome into our spiritual community. Tammy Hall on keyboard, on piano, Renzo Merritt on drums, James Jeffley on bass. We receive those applause. We receive your praise. We receive it this morning. Honored to bring to the community some new songs this morning. We have Speak, led by Kelvin Hatchett. We also have a song entitled I Dreamed of Rain, led by Rich Davis, a brother friend from East Bay Church of Religious Science. And then we're inviting you to join us on our chant and When You Believe. And I really want to see you guys get up out your seats. Well, let me say it another way. Get up out of your seats. I knew you understood that. So you bought the ticket because you came to the door. We invite you to settle in and receive the love that we have for you this morning. This is the praise and worship team. Also, I've decided to call them the Sounds of CSL.
Yes, I believe. Yes, I believe. It belongs to me. It belongs to me. And I shall have. I shall have. What I decree. What I decree. Yes, I believe. Yes, I believe. It belongs to me. It belongs to me. So I'm going to speak into the atmosphere. Whatever God has decreed for you, speak into the atmosphere. Put your hand over your heart a little bit and sing this with me. I shall have what I decree. What I decree. Yes, I believe. Yes, I believe. It belongs to me. It belongs to me. So I'm going to speak into the atmosphere. You gotta open up your mouth and speak into it. Speak into the atmosphere. You gotta believe with your heart and soul. Speak into the atmosphere. Speak it all over your house. Speak into it. Speak into the atmosphere. Whatever it is, just speak it. Speak. Speak it. Speak. Speak it. Speak. Speak it. Speak. Speak it. Speak it. Speak. Speak it. Speak. I declare it. 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 speak into it.
Speak into the atmosphere.
Over your life. 'Cause I shall have what I decree.
What I decree.
Yes, I believe.
Yes, I believe.
It belongs to me.
It belongs to me.
So I'm going to speak into the atmosphere. Speak it to
the atmosphere.
It's already done in your life. Speak it.
Into the atmosphere.
All your prayers will be answered. Speak it.
Speak into the
Speak it.
atmosphere.
Woo! Woo! Good morning, CSL. San Jose, good morning. How is everyone? Man, 9:30 was louder than you guys. How is everyone today? Woo! I apologize. I use CSL. It stands for Center for Spiritual Living. We're not supposed to use TLAs in these anymore. TLA stands for three-letter acronyms, FYI. So from now on, when you hear CSL, just know it means Center for Spiritual Living San Jose. Welcome. I have the honor privilege to be your host this morning. My name is Ted Mitchell. And man, there's a lot of energy in this room. I love this time of year. We are on that cusp of that beautiful, magical season, right? That season of change. Changes. Time to face the strange. And that's why I love about communities like this with spiritually aware beings is we can embrace change, regardless of what change comes, because we know that's the only constant in the universe, right, is change. And change is a-coming, and it's awesome. So what do we do here? We transform lives, and we build dreams, and we reveal love. And I know that's pretty powerful stuff if you actually stop to think about it for a little bit. And all we ask is that you remain open to the possibility of changing your entire life by simply changing your mind. Yeah, it's pretty much that easy. That tricky, too, at the same time. So welcome home. If it is your first time with us today, a very special welcome. We have welcome packets for you in the back in the foyer if you walk out that way. We also have a crack concierge team out there in front. And we grill them, we train them to answer any of your questions. So please go and hit them up with anything you can think of, and we'll see how good they do today. Welcome to our live streamers, where all we ask is you put some pants on. You know who you are. Your moderator today is Ann from Oregon. Thank you, Ann, for taking that on. And before we kick off this sacred show, let's celebrate being in a community with one another, shake some hands and meet some new people. And thank you for being here.
Walking the perfect journey, I am awake and holy. My heart is full, my mind is free. I am the Holy One, walking the perfect journey. I am awake and holy. My heart is full, my mind is free. I am the Holy One, walking the perfect journey. I am awake and holy. My heart is full, my mind is free. I am the Holy One, walking the perfect journey. I am awake and holy. My heart is full, my mind is free. I am the Holy One, walking the perfect journey. I am awake and holy. My heart is full, my mind is free.
And so as we settle into the sweetness of this time of our service, we will join together in speaking our intentions, after which we will have 2 minutes of silence. And then after the silence, I will pray and we will have our affirmation. So if you will repeat after me, I hold in my heart the children and volunteers of the youth program.
I hold in my heart the children and volunteers of the youth program.
And the members of our community who aren't here today. I hold in my heart our loved ones. Those who have gone before us. And those who have yet to arrive. I hold in my heart all who need healing. I hold in my heart a world free of homelessness. A world free of violence. A world free of hunger. A world free of separation. And a world free of disenfranchisement. I feel the global heart beating in me. As me. Right here. And right now. And as we stay in that sacred space, we know that there is only one source, one power, one universal mind, one love, one essence, known by many names, but which I call God. And that God is in, through, and as each and every person in this room. And we claim that expression, that individual expression brought here into community. And as the song said earlier, believe it, believe it. What I will have, I will decree. And it has always been so that what you will have has come through your decree. And what we remember and what I declare for each and every person in this room is that there's a remembrance of the freedom to choose, the freedom to choose anything and everything. And if the challenges should seem too great and all choices look heavy, then we can at minimum and greatly choose our attitude. For it is this attitude that will change the universe. I am so profoundly grateful for being able to be here today in community to say, believe it. For the thanksgiving fills my being as it must yours. And knowing that the words, any word that I have spoken, was done before I ever uttered it. I can now release our prayer to the perfect right action of the law, knowing that all is truly, truly well. And so it is. And now if you read with me the affirmation for the month. I accept complete happiness, abundant health, and increasing prosperity. I have confidence in myself because I have confidence in God. I am sure of myself because I am sure of God.
One more time.
I dreamed of rain and the rains came, soft and easy, sweet and clear. I dreamed of rain and the rains came, and peace spread over the land. I dreamed of summer and the winds changed, and the green was easy and the rivers ran clear. I dreamed of summer and the winds changed, and peace spread over the land. And the flowers bloomed in the desert, and the air is fresh and clear. I dreamed of rain and the rains came, I dreamed of freedom and the moon rose, and the way was easy and the path was clear. I dreamed of freedom and the moon rose, and peace spread over the land. And the guardian stars were shining, and the night was dark and clear. I dreamed of freedom and the moon rose, and peace spread over the land. I dreamed of heaven and the earth sang, and the sound was easy and the song was clear. I dreamed of heaven and the earth sang, and peace spread over the land. I dreamed of rain and the rains came, soft and easy, sweet and clear. I dreamed of rain and the rains came, and peace spread over the land. I dreamed of heaven and the earth sang, and the sound was easy and the song was clear. I dreamed of heaven and the earth sang, and peace spread over the land. And the ancient pain is forgotten, and the Father's debts are clear. I dreamed of heaven and the earth sang, and peace spread over the land. I dreamed of rain and the rains came, and peace spread over the land. And peace spread over the land. Yeah, yeah. And peace spread over the land. I dreamed of rain and the rains came.
My name is Soraya Garay, and I will be giving today's Insight Talk. The insight I will share with you arrived from my two most basic relationships, my mother and the one that has been with me since I can remember. In my faith, they call him Jesus. While I could talk to you about the dysfunction of my relationship with my mother and the dysfunction of my family, I chose instead to look at the reason I lay down my arms. I kept my mother at an arm's length, as I knew the closer I got to my mother, the deadlier the sting. So I got good at keeping my mother at bay, except it was not how I wanted my relationship to be. My teachings of being Christ-like eventually brought about a deep knowing of when I was not living in integrity. This was the reason I laid down my weapons. I was not digging deep enough to figure out why I could not love my mother without judgment, without fear. I realized I lacked the gentleness and grace to bring to life the relationship I wanted with my mother. You cannot work from gentleness and grace without weapons, with weapons of destruction. So my first step at laying down my armor was to find an activity she truly enjoyed and to do it with her. She loved to write poetry to my grandmother, and my grandmother would write her poems in response. My mother was trying very hard to bring a closer relationship between us, so she welcomed my playful suggestion to come up with poems on the fly. We would do this often, and I enjoyed the laughter I often would bring as I would take my poems into a funny place. So began my journey to be in integrity with spirit. The more I understood my source, the more I understood the power of faith, letting go, and acceptance. Eventually, my journey took me to an awareness that gratitude of everything there is was the key to joy, gentleness, and grace. I now thank God for my mother, for all that she was and all that she wasn't. My mother would ask me if she could buy me a present. She knew I didn't like her gifts, not because I would say anything, but because she could sense it. I would always suggest she write me poetry instead of buying me gifts, but she never gave me the written poetry. I would buy her beautiful journal books, and she never presented them to me. My mother passed away 2 years ago, and my sister and I collected her belongings. I found the books of poetry she wrote to me. I have only been able to read one poem so far, and I would like to share it with you. I will first read it in Spanish as it is written, and then I will translate it. Ven, te invito a esta cena. Es tu compañía la que me dará consuelo a mi tarde tan sola y fría. La sopa está caliente y afuera hace frío. Ven, acompáñame en partir esta torta. El té está hirviendo. No me digas que no puedes, porque me pondría triste. No pretendo detenerte. Sí que el frío que siento lo llevo por dentro. Ven, que la sopa se enfría y aún hace mucho frío afuera. La cena será breve y tú te marcharás cuando quieras. Come, I invite you to this meal. It is your company that will give me solace in my lonely and cold afternoon. The soup is hot and it's so cold outside. Come, accompany me in cutting this cake. The tea is boiling. Don't tell me you cannot, because it will make me sad. I don't pretend to detain you. It's just that the cold I feel is from within. Come, the soup is getting cold, and it's still cold outside. The meal, it will be brief, and you will leave me when you want to. Thank you, Mother.
Good morning. I had a really kick-ass sermon written when I arrived here this morning, and then Yoko Ono emerged. You know, life is what happens when you're making other plans. And I sat in the presence of Ted. Did you really tell people to put their pants on? Yeah, put on your pants. Or not. God loves you just as you are and just as you are not clothed. And then the praise team happened, or I felt like I was happening in the presence of the praise team, and then the rains came. And then Zariah read what she read, and I'm just so moved that the sermon that I had prepared for you is crap. You don't have to laugh that much. Apparently you know, right? So let's say we just make it up. This is what we do anyway. My name is David, and I'm completely, absolutely, 100% in love with you, and completely and undeniably unafraid of you. And I'm very grateful to be here because we have an opportunity here to explore possibilities so that we might actually apply it into our lives and make an impact. I'm moved and inspired that the world that we're dreaming about, the world in which peace is a possibility and wherein the thing itself shows up in our lives, where we can hear poems read to us in Spanish and we know exactly what they mean. That can happen today and tomorrow and Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and then October and November and December and 2015 and so on. And it begins with us making a choice to have it show up that way. Our topic is Avoid Civil War. And Avoid Civil War emerges from our book of the year, which is A New Design for Living. And in A New Design for Living, we as a community are looking at one chapter per week. And each chapter is only 2 or 3 paragraphs at most. And the chapter we're looking at this week is Avoid Civil War. And let me tell you, civil war is a war between peoples of the same nation. And there are many great examples of civil war. 2 very profound ones emerge for me right now. One of them is the English Civil War, which happened in the mid-1600s. It was the 17th century. King Charles I was being commanded by his parliament to do a few things that he did not want to do, and he refused. And what happened was a civil war erupted, and Parliament won, and King Charles and his team did not. But then, in a rebound attempt to gain power, King Charles created an alliance with the Scots. But even King Charles and the Scots were overcome by Parliament, and Parliament won the war, and King Charles was tried for treason, and he was executed. The American Civil War, 1861 to 1865. These United States of America were divided. And they were divided because of an idea whose time had come. And greater than the mightiest army is the power of an idea whose time has come. And the time was for the abolition of slavery. And Abraham Lincoln was elected as president on the platform of the abolition of slavery. And that caused a reaction. The southern states, the Confederacy, seceded from the Union. The northern states, the Union, fought. And so we had civil war for 4 years. The war ended. The Union was reunited, and slavery was abolished. Civil war. But these are between nations. We can have civil war inside the individual, you and me. That's what A New Design for Living is looking at. That we can sow seeds for greatness by avoiding the internal civil war, the one that happens in here, the Civil War. Civil war emerges when the peoples of your makeup, which is mostly threefold according to our book, are in conflict. So you and I are whole beings, lacking nothing. And we must find a willingness to be comfortable with ambiguity and paradox. We must find a way to believe that God and I are one, and at the same time, there's a God greater than me. That's a paradox. God is all there is, and all that I am is God, and still there's a God that's greater than me, and that's a paradox. I used to fight it. I fought it for a long time. And I'm not so willing to fight it anymore. Now I'm just willing to go, like my parents, Because sort of in that, some wonderful stuff begins to emerge. The rains come. Anger is diminished and healing takes place. So you and I are whole beings, and at the same time we have three distinct aspects to our nature. We are thinking beings, we are emotional feeling beings, and we are action-driven beings. And we are called by our philosophy, our faith, and our way of life, if we really want to make an impact in the world, if we really want the kingdom, queendom of heaven to be at hand, then you and I can command it into being through practicing very distinct and clear and easy steps. Declare or think or imagine whatever it is you wish to affirm. You know, like one idea of affirmation might be, today doesn't suck. But you may want to raise the bar a little bit. Okay. But let's say that was your affirmation for the day. That was your intention. The intention is that today doesn't suck. Then get your emotional state, your feeling state, to be able to feel and really get on a profound level that today doesn't suck. And then take actions based upon the thought and the belief feeling that today doesn't suck, so that you might produce a day that doesn't suck. But you can see that we may want to raise that bar such that today is an opportunity for the thing itself to be revealed in my life in a real experience. Like, I expect magic today. And then the second stage of your being is to feel it, accept it, and live it as if magic is happening today, and then take action such that magic has no choice but to happen. So those three stages are vital. But there are times we have conflict. What we think and what we feel and what we do are not in sync. They're out of integrity with each other. Yes? Do you know anybody like that? Have you ever been like that in the last 40 minutes? Yeah, I have this. So let me tell you about it. This is where we can avoid civil war. Any of you ever heard of Philz Coffee? P-H-I-L-Z, Philz Coffee? Show of hands. How many of you have heard of Philz? Okay, good. Keep your hands up. Be proud, people. How many of you have never heard of Philz? Boy, have I got some educating to do. I can handle this. So, Philz Coffee. There are a few Philz in the neighborhood. There's one in particular that gets my attention because it's just feet outside of my household gates. I walk out of the gates of the complex in which I live, and right across the walkway, which is Paseo de San Antonio. It's a diagonal walkway that goes from the park on Market Street through the Fairmont. Do you know that there are trains on the sidewalk? Without warning, there's like a train on the sidewalk. What fertile mind thought of that? Okay, San Jose. So I'm walking and then keep going, and then Paseo de San Antonio ends at the university. Well, in that little last section, there's a coffee shop called Philz, P-H-I-L-Z. So I went into Philz because I was told it's the best coffee, and Mauricio, having recently worked for Pete's, which I thought was like among the best coffee, let's try Philz. So I went into Philz, and I've noticed that most of the people who go there are university students. That little particular section of Paseo de San Antonio, they call it Hipster Alley. So I have to go there with like a hat and big sunglasses and hope nobody notices me. But I'm standing in line for about 25 minutes to have them. It takes about 25 minutes because they make each cup of coffee to order, and they grind like that much, and they pour it, and it's ergonomically dangerous the way they do this with all this hot water. And I ordered the coffee. I said, I want a decaf. And she says, well, what kind? And I said, decaf. Well, which one? I said, I don't know. I didn't know that we're supposed to know. And so she started asking me questions like how old are you? What's your sun's sign? What's your favorite flavor? And then she said, I'm going to let you try Sumatra decaf. And then I said, a little bit of cream and some sweetener. And so while they're doing their magic, I went in and I paid, and they charged for $5. $5. Let me say that again. $5 for a cup of coffee. And I said to the woman, because I like to be in community wherever I am. It's important for me to be in relationship with folks. So I'm not just talking to that girl or boy at the Phil's Coffee as if they're a human vending machine. I'm in relationship with them. So I said to her, $5? That feels like an abuse. She says, well, she said, that's not much more than Pete's and Starbucks. I said, it's twice as much as Pete's and Starbucks. 20 ounce at Starbucks is $2.20. She goes, well, this is twice as good. So right there, I was having civil war because my thoughts were, Phil's is the place to be seen. And my actions took me to Phil's, but my emotions were, I was feeling raped. In a social, economical kind of way. So, I was thinking, well, I'm not coming back here. And then they called me and they gave me my coffee, and I walked outside and I took a sip and I went, she is absolutely right. Twice the amount would have been a bargain. And I immediately see something happen. The Civil War was ended because my thoughts about Phil's and my experience of Phil's and my actions were all in alignment such that I actually had to put in my calendar only one per week. Okay. Now, I know that might really seem superficial and surface level, and it is, but it's me. I'm shallow. But we have civil war everywhere. It's not just at Phil's. We have it at work. We have it while we're looking for a parking space at the mall, or while we're dealing with a parent who is sick. This morning, before first service, I went into the kitchen, and the woman who arrives on this particular Sunday, the third Sunday of the month, her name is Susan. I haven't seen Susan in a handful of weeks. I said, where have you been, Susan? She said, I've missed you guys. I've been tired. I said, what's going on? You know what I learned from her? I learned that she has a son. His name is Sam, and Sam is 29 years old. And Sam has been homeless for 2 years. And he's diagnosed schizophrenic. And for the last 6 weeks, he's been living with her. And she lives down in Hollister. It's a different county. They don't have quite the resources that we have in Santa Clara County. So she doesn't have the support systems that we might have here, being parents of schizophrenic children or homeless, having homeless relatives. And I was just in the presence of her thinking, how do you do it? How do you keep the three aspects of you, your thoughts of possibility alive, and the experience of feeling that you're in the presence of a God who knows only good, and then taking actions to keep yourself and your household safe in the presence of a son who's totally unpredictable and out of your control? How do you keep from having civil war? How do you do that? She said, I come here. Exactly. Your music's not just entertainment, Michelle. It's changing lives. Yeah, me too. So I've learned something in my almost 30 years of New Thought, Ancient Wisdom. I've learned that it's not the way I thought it was. I thought it worked this way. Change your thinking. Change your life. I thought that's how it was, right? I mean, we were kind of taught that Change your thinking, change your life. I'm a good student, so I'll change my thinking. How do I don't even know what I think. How can I change? I don't even know what I think. Sometimes I don't even think that's what I'm thinking. Sometimes I think I'm just observing reality, and there's this voice that goes on and on and on and on, like this eternal commentary, and I'm thinking, who's talking? You know, and I'm so tired. So, well, I'll be weather. That coffee smells really good. And did I really like paying $5 for a cup of coffee? And what is she wearing? But I used to think it was change your thinking, change your life. And I thought if I could just change my thinking, then I could handle the emotional part. And for a long time I've struggled. Like, sometimes I just don't feel happy. And I try to think my way into happiness. And I'm wondering, how am I going to do that? You know, sometimes I drive to church. When I lived in Oakland and drove here, I had a lot more time to contemplate. Now it's like 2.7 miles. And when I drive here, I think, I got to microwave this. You know? So, how am I going to change my feelings? I change my thinking. How will I do that? Well, you know, all three elements are interdependent. They are dependent upon each other. They work together. But they don't always work together steps 1, 2, 3. Sometimes it's 2, 1, 3. Sometimes it's 2, 3, 1. Sometimes it's 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. Kind of feel a little bleed into 2, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 2, 1. It doesn't matter where you start somewhere, and then be consistent. Therapist friend of mine, I know there's many therapists in this room. Thank you for the work you're doing. I'm grateful. There's also in this room many sponsors of 12-step programs, and in this room there are many future candidates for 12-step programs. May you know who you are. And so it is. So this particular therapist is an MD. He's a doctor also, so he knows he can prescribe medication. And folks will say to me, David, do you have any referrals? I really need to see a therapist. I say, yeah, actually I know several really good ones, and I give referrals, several. And then you call them and see if you have a connection and make an appointment or two and see if that works for you. And if not, try one of the others. But this one I'm talking about right now, he's very, very clear. When people come to him and say, I'm depressed, I'm scared, I'm lost, he says, I can help you. And you will start a rigorous exercise program immediately. Well, do you think that you can help me with medication? He says, I'm an MD. That's a possibility, but you will start with a rigorous exercise program immediately. And if they don't, he will not see them. He will not see them. He's a therapist. You think he starts on the thought part, right? He's a psychiatrist. You think it would be thought. But he starts them with action. Now, I go to the gym several times a week, or I'm on my bicycle, or I'm water skiing or snow skiing, or I'm running from staff. I know. So there's that's the action part. You know, take the action. I don't always wake up like my first thought was, God is good. I don't always wake up feeling or experiencing the emotion of, oh, best day ever. Sometimes I wake up and I'm scared of my thoughts. Sometimes I wake up and I'm grateful that I have learned not to believe everything that I think. It's actually, I could wake up sometimes and think, oh, it's going to be a dark one. Do something about this. So I don't necessarily entertain that thought because I know that thought is just the automatic thought that is the garbage trash of the masses. It may not even be mine. It's just there and I notice it. Like I might notice a radio station. If I tune into the right frequency, the radio station's there. I didn't cause the station to be there, but I use the instrument that I have, the radio, to tune into it. I also can tune into another. And one way to tune into another is to immediately get myself involved in a rigorous exercise program. So the thought necessarily is not going to take me there. Get into action. But I've noticed almost always once I get there, I feel, well, no. Once I'm done, I'm so glad that I went, such that something inside of me is so different, and I'm a little more peaceful with my world. And when I'm more peaceful with my world, my thoughts are clearer. But for how many years did I waste my time just sitting there changing my thinking, try to manipulate, alter, find my thinking, and then judge everybody else. Why are you thinking that? You shouldn't think that way. Isn't that funny, by the way? Yeah. The ones who could use the most revelation are the ones who are teaching everybody else. It's fascinating. Fascinating. Yes, I know. So, I'll do better next week with the sermon. But I want to tell you something that in 2015, a new law takes effect regarding your mobile telephone. And your mobile telephones in 2015 must all, according to law, have a kill switch. Now, the 5 major United States telephone carriers have willingly agreed to abide by this new law, and virtually every telephone manufacturer in the world is installing as part of the phone itself a kill switch. Now, the kill switch is designed such that should you lose your phone or have your phone stolen, you, the owner of the phone, can remotely erase the data on the phone. Your contacts, your iTunes, your MP3s, your photos, you can erase all of that. You can also render your phone useless remotely by just signing on, ding, dead. I wish I had a kill switch for that. You know, where staff wishes they had that too, where they could just watch me in a meeting and sometimes wish they could just go, ding. Wouldn't that be great? We had like a kill switch for our own thinking. No, wouldn't it be great for me, thank you very much. But I mean, wouldn't it be great if while we're in the middle of the dialogues and the feelings and all this stuff is happening, we could just hit a kill switch and just stop it for a moment. We could just stop it. Because I think if we could just stop it for a moment, in the silence we would discover something. First, we would discover nothing. But from nothingness, anything could happen. Anything. Unlimited anything. That's why spiritual practice is vital. Spiritual practice is vital to go into the nothing. Not just your thinking, not the first stage of your physical, psychological makeup. Go into the thinking thought. Sometimes you need to go into the emoting, feeling, experiencing that that's so. And the way to experience that is to go into nothing. We are providing more and more ways here at the center for you to do that. And it's powerful to do it in community. Every Sunday morning, and I have for a year and a half, satsang, sitting in community, quietly, upstairs, on the room, on the other side of that banner right there. Just me and whoever else shows up between 8:30 and 8:45. Just show up, walk in, sit down, and say nothing. And sometimes all that goes on is blah, 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 blah. I like that song, I like that song, I like that song. No, blah, 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 blah. Quiet. We've added satsang on Wednesday nights from 6:30 to 7:30. I'm hosting most of them. 3 every month. I'll be 3 every month that there's 3 weeks. 4 every month that there's 5 weeks. The 4th Wednesday of every month, that's this coming Wednesday, I will not be hosting because I'll be at a core council meeting. However, this Wednesday we have Ken Rowell and Ted, who will have his pants on. Ken and Ted will be facilitating the satsang. And here's what it is. Show up with your pillow, or just show up, put your phone on silent. There'll be chairs in a circle. There'll be pillows in the middle of the floor if you want them. Bring your yoga mat if you like. But plan on this. Sitting with about 50 other people in absolute silence for 30 minutes. And in so doing, you might begin to make a relationship with the God that wouldn't change one thing about you. And then we find that the inner civil wars have ceased to be. It's a really good place to start. I invite you to join us with that. Soraya, thank you for sharing that about your mother. I can totally see it. The soup is hot, and it's cold outside. Come. Very soon, my friends, it's going to be cold outside. Maybe right now in your world it already is cold. Come. Come. Let's pray together. I'm very, very grateful to take a brief, powerful moment just to speak my word. My prayer is my word. It's my promise, my command. And I do so freely and willingly. And I do it for you, the people within earshot, who matter to me. I'm taking a stand for your life, and I invite you to take a stand with me for the lives of the people that matter to you. I don't think any one of us right now here in this room are really here for ourselves. I actually think we're here for the people that matter to us, so that we might be equipped and empowered, uplifted and inspired to create a world that works for everyone. And so this prayer is that everyone within earshot has the resources, the strength, the fortitude, the encouragement, and the enthusiasm to do what must be done in order that a world of peace and possibility, a world free of homelessness and violence and war and disenfranchisement and separation, becomes the norm. A world in which forgiveness is the norm. A world in which there is a resurgence of aesthetics and art and music and possibility, in which people know how to read and act and draw and paint. A world in which kindness propagates. And spiritual centers like this thrive everywhere, because more and more folks are watching you and they're wanting what you got. And we're no longer keeping it a secret. And that's my prayer. And I'm grateful. And so it is. So the ushers are going to come forward and help us with the sharing of our gifts and tithes and offerings. And I invite you to try on the formula for avoiding civil war with our offering today. And that is to think of the possibility that a place like this could create in a community like Santa Clara County. What kind of resources could make an impact? How many folks like Susan, who worked in the kitchen, who's got a son who is schizophrenic and in and out of homelessness? Wouldn't it be great if there was a place like this that could help her? Or this single parent who's looking for a way to handle her kids who are his kids who are in trouble. Or the newlyweds who are unable to conceive, that they can come to places like this for counseling and coaching and uplifting. Or cooking classes for those of you who would like to do that. And then feel like it's possible because you're making an impact, and then taking the action by being as generous as you can. Please say with me our giving affirmation and imagine that this becomes so. I love to share my love, and I love to receive the love shared with me. I receive the good that is intended for me with ease and grace. My love touches everyone and everything.
possible when you believe. Help us say, anything is possible when you believe. Faith can make a mountain move when you believe. Come on, say, faith can make a mountain move when you believe. Don't you know that you can change your life when you believe? Don't you know that you can change your life when you believe in yourself? When you believe in yourself, when you believe in yourself, when you believe in yourself, when you believe, gonna make a miracle. When you believe, gonna make a miracle. When you believe, gonna make a miracle. Everything you want, you got. When you believe, you want it, you got it. Everything you want, you got. When you believe, you want it, you got it. You believe. When you believe, when you believe, I believe in me. Say, I believe in you. I believe in each other. There ain't nothing that we can't do. One more time without the band. I believe in me. Come on, sing church. I believe in you. Yeah. We believe in each other. There ain't nothing that we can't do. I believe in me. I believe in you. We believe in each other. There ain't nothing that we can't do.
As we close, a handful of offerings I'd like to draw to your attention. One of them is that if you have taken a certificated class and not yet received your certificates, please go to the concierge team that Ted mentioned earlier. They're waiting for you to test them out, pick up your certificates. In the future, here's what we're going to do. If you don't pick up your certificates, we will hold them for 1 year, and then we will donate them to the recycling team. But that doesn't mean if you don't have your certificate that it isn't on file. There's always a soft copy at Home Office in Colorado. On Wednesdays, like I mentioned, we have satsang, and that's an opportunity for you to really practice your practice. That's at 6:30 this coming Wednesday. This is your final week to register for classes. If you'd like to join Reverend Susan in Foundations on Monday, or Reverend Megan in the Power of Decision on Mondays as well, please go to the concierge and they will help register you. The Women's Connection group is doing Eat, Play, Love, and they're doing dinner and karaoke at Seven Stars Bar. That is this coming... Seven Stars Bar and Grill. There's clearly someone already on a program. So there's the dinner and karaoke at Seven Stars Grill, and they have a bar. That's this coming Friday at 6 p.m. Reverend Tony on Saturday is leading a group called Insights into Our Children. You can gain insights in how youngsters process information and different methods of working with different children. That is Saturday the 27th at 10 o'clock. Next Sunday's Insight speaker, the 5-minute Insight speaker, her name is Alexandra Kennedy, and she's a therapist, and she is also going to be doing a little workshop afterward. She's an author, and so there's a lot going on next Sunday. If you would like to serve the center on the production team, we are interviewing folks to do sanctuary sound recording. service slide presentation and concierge elite team service. Please see someone at the concierge team. They will help you. Lastly, our September outreach is the food drive, and I understand that that the buckets aren't as full as Dorcas and the outreach team were hoping. So if you are inclined and you have the ability to be generous with food, if you go over to the fellowship hall in that general area, I believe taped to the rims of the buckets are lists of things that you can get. And you may even have some in your home. You can just bring them next Sunday. That would be lovely. If there's anything going on in your life for which you would like prayer, you could have a seat in one of these seats in the chapel area, and one of our licensed prayer practitioners will pray with you. It's fast, it's free, and it's powerful. Have I forgotten anything? No, they have first service. Thank you very much. Then please stand and take the hand of the person on your right and on your left. And repeat after me, as is our custom, something wonderful is happening as me right now.
Something wonderful is happening as me right now.
It's this thing called life.
It's this thing called life.
Life is in my mind.
Life is in my mind.
Life is in my body.
Life is in my body.
Life is in my relationships.
Life is in my relationships.
Life is in my finances.
Life is in my finances.
Life is in my government and military.
Life is in my government and military.
I see it. I think it. I feel it. I believe it. I accept it. I express it just the way that it is and just the way that it is not. Thank you, life.